okay, again, it starts with stance, okay, just working a progression here with movement now after we address and teach stance, all right? This is called the short shuffle drill. The purpose of this drill, okay, is to make sure that these guys are balanced through the entire movement, all right? And balanced through the entire movement, their hip levels are down, okay, and they're not rising up when they move. The key to the drill is this. They're going to move, okay, as I move my hands. When I stop my hands, they're going to stop, okay? I want to make sure that once they stop, they're not false stepping, they're not wobbling, they understand that they have a good center of gravity and they're balanced, okay? And that's really the purpose of this drill, to move and to stay balanced, okay? And you're just moving from left to right, okay? Good, short, quick steps, mirroring your hands. And you can see once these guys stop, they're balanced. They're not out over the framework of their hips. They're not false stepping, okay? They have a center of gravity right down through the middle of their body, and that's what I'm looking to teach initially with this drill, okay, called the short shuffle, all right? Once I move them both to their left and their right, now I'm gonna release them from the drill. Once I pull my hands into my body, now they're gonna accelerate out of that stance. No false steps. Once they accelerate, I don't want to see any false steps here, okay? No false steps. Everything's moving in a positive direction. No wasted movement. Okay, this is just a close-up view. You can see he's not rising up out of his hips, okay? He's not up on his toes. He's not taking a bunch of false steps. When I say go, he begins, okay, to sprint. When I say go, he starts out in a sprint. Now when I say stop, he begins to come to balance, but he keeps closing space. He does not stop. He comes to balance, but he keeps closing space, moving down the line in this fashion, okay? Then I say sprint, he takes off again. I say stop, okay? He regrows his base, okay? And just continue that, okay, until you determine that, you've gone far enough. We go from the sideline, okay, really to the top of the numbers on the other side of the field, and that's college landmarks. But you can do it as far as you want. You can go from sideline to hash, sideline to other hash. Close space, all right, but only giving the ball carrier a one-way go, never getting in a position where I'm head up on this ball carrier where he could go, come inside or outside, okay? We're giving him a one-way go here off our leverage. We're going to sprint, okay? We're going to sprint, all right? And now we're going to begin to come to balance. As we begin to close space, and now we're within striking distance of this ball carrier, we want to come to balance. We want to regrow our base back, okay? Shorten our footwork up, all right? And continue to press him on that angle, okay? All right? This isn't bad. This is a good angle, good leverage point right here, okay? He's come to balance. He's got his base back, right? He's continuing to close space, and then he just shoots his uppercuts right there. That's a good job. This is what I refer to as a two-whistle drill, all right? The first whistle, okay, I'm going to blow the whistle, is going to start the linebacker into a short back pedal. It's less than 5 yards. The second whistle, now he's going to begin to break. He's going to plant, point, and burst. Again, always keeping his feet underneath his hips, right? And he's going to, again, approach him on a good inside-out angle. On the second whistle, that's when the ball carrier now releases straight up the numbers right here. Straight up the numbers. Okay, the next is sideline tackle, all right? This is still considered an open field tackle, all right? What we have now is the 10-yard separation between the linebacker here and the running back or ball carrier here, all right? The drill is set up, okay, with 2 dots or cones. This cone for the linebacker is slightly offset. I want to create leverage on the ball carrier right away. So this is about a yard wider or a yard further from the sideline than actually this cone or dot would be, all right? So I already got leverage on the ball carrier. The other cone or dot would be placed right out at a 45-degree angle, approximately 3 to 4 yards in front of the ball carrier. That's his landmark. That keeps him on course. He just now on the command angles. He's not getting too flat, right, working at a tight 45-degree angle. And this is a come to balance drill. All right, this is a good job. You shouldn't see the linebacker stop closing space. He should continue to work towards the back. But as he gets closer to the back, he's got to be able to come to balance. And that's what number 44 is doing right there. That's a good job, good rep. All right, what we're doing here, all right, this is just a block destruction portion of our fundamentals. All right, what we want to do, okay, is we want to make sure that we put the linebackers in a collapsed arm fit. Okay, number 36 and number 44, the two players with their backs to us are on offense. Okay, they're just putting their hands in there. Usually, you can see Marcus should have. I usually have them put them on the top of the shoulder pads here, but they're still in a good football position. They're pressuring or bodying into the linebacker, the man that they're going against right here. Okay, all we're going to do on the command. Okay, I'm just going to say set hit. Okay, on that command, this man is going to lock out. He's going to separate. Okay, and then once he separates, right, he's now going to pull the man down and away, all right, and rip off. Right, rip off. He's just in a good pre-fit position. His hat placement is to his gap responsibility, which he has here. He's got a slight lead foot. His hip, his right foot is back in this case. That left foot is down the middle of this offensive lineman. Okay, he's got a good base. Right, he's going to lock out, and now he's going to pull him down and away and rip off. Win with your feet. That's not bad right there. Pulling down and away, and again, emphasizing the rip. Right. Now, all right, what we want to do, okay, is we want to make sure that we put the linebackers in a collapsed arm fit. Okay, number 36 and number 44, the two players with their backs to us are on offense. Okay. They're just putting their hands in there. Usually, you can see Marcus should have. I usually have them put them on the top of the shoulder pads here, but they're still in a good football position. They're pressuring or bodying into the linebacker, the man that they're going against right here. Okay, all we're going to do on the command. Okay, I'm just going to say set hit. Okay, on that command, this man is going to lock out. He's going to separate. Okay, and then once he separates, right, he's now going to pull the man down and away, all right, and rip off, right, rip off. He's just in a good pre-fit position. His hat placement is to his gap responsibility, which he has here. He's got a slight lead foot. His hip, his right foot is back in this case. That left foot is down the middle of this offensive lineman. Okay, he's got a good base, right? He's going to lock out, and now he's going to pull him down and away and rip off. Win with your feet. That's not bad right there. Pulling down and away, and again, emphasizing the rip, right? Now, in terms of our hat placement, we're a single gap control defense, okay? So these linebackers are responsible for these gaps here to their left. If I'm responsible for this gap here to my left, this gap here to my left, I'm going to have a slight right foot base, okay? That's the most powerful base. Right, a slight lead foot base. I got my eyes over the near side pressure point here. That's where I'm gaining my line of sight. Okay, I'm in a good football position. I got bend in the ankles, knees, and hips. All right, I want to talk about 2 points of leverage with the linebackers. I feel like there's 2 points of leverage in the game of football. One is pad level, low man wins. We've been hearing that since we've been playing the game of football. The second point of leverage is our hand placement. Okay, we want to fit our hands inside. We want our thumbs up, elbows tight, okay? And again, now on the command, I want to separate. I want to lock out right here, violently lock out. I do not want to roll my hips. I want to keep my hips back. And you can see once we do that, we gain a huge amount of separation here. We want to continue to buzz our feet with our hips back, okay? Our eyes, again, are still over the play side pressure point, all right? And then now we want to rip off at the proper time. Once obviously we're ready to. This is just a drill that we're doing here. All right. Again, setting a base, just using a shield, okay, or a sled. Either way, you can do it. If you don't have a sled, you can just have a guy hold a shield, right? All I'm doing is I'm having them shuffle to their left, okay, and now work downhill and attack this pad, this shield, all right, setting a right foot base with their eyes now over this left side pressure point. That should be their hat placement. Okay, so right there, okay, he's not in bad shape here, all right, he's a little bit too head up. Again, I'd like for these guys to be offset a little bit more, all right, in terms of gaining their line of sight here, all right. On this drill, okay, again, this is a 2-whistle command. I'll give them 1 whistle to start them, all right. Once I see now that they've locked out, okay, they've locked out, all right, I want to make sure that they're not rolling their hips. They've gained good separation. It's a violent punch. Their feet are moving, all right. Then the second whistle, now they'll release and rip off this shield or sled to their left, clear their hips by. Okay, now this is for if the ball now is working away from our gap. This isn't bad here. Okay, he's in pretty good football position. Right there, not bad right here. This is pretty good, pretty good. Now, instead of the ball committing or running to our gap responsibility, which would be this gap to our left, the ball carrier cut back. The ball carrier cut back. The ball carrier cut back. And now we're going to fall back. So we've won to our gap. We've put our eyes to our gap responsibility. The ball carrier feels our presence in that gap, and now he begins to cut back, okay? This is where now we're going to fall back and finish on the ball, okay? We do this obviously both ways, okay? This is stuff and shed, okay, to our gap responsibility, and then we'll go stuff, shed here, okay, and then fall back. This is, again, another progression off of it, all right? Just using live bodies to execute the drill, okay? All we're doing here is we're taking a linebacker, right? He's offset slightly, okay? He's got his left foot down the middle of this offensive lineman's body, okay? You got a dot here. All this guy does on the whistle is he works straight up the field, gives him a little bit of pressure, okay? Depending on the skill level of this guy, he may try and slightly reach him, but he's going to pressure into this linebacker. The linebacker is going to shuffle over, set a right foot base, get his line of sight over this near side pressure point, and lock out, okay? The ball carrier now, very important. The ball carrier, once he feels this man lock him out, then he's going to release at a tight 45-degree angle, and now he's going to shed the blocker, okay, and form up the ball carrier with a good form tackle, okay? The key is the ball carrier can't leave too early. He's got to make sure, let the guy lock out. Let the man lock out before he releases. Now, the progression again off this is the fall back. That was stuff and shed. Now this is stuff, shed, okay, and fall back. The back now, we've won to our gap responsibility. The back feels our presence in that gap. Bam, here, all right? Now, he's not going to commit to that gap. He's going to cut back on us, all right? Now we're going to fall back. Once we fall back...